I want to talk about the formula that we use to calculate the percent increase or decrease of an object or something or an item, but also then the way we can calculate new values. So it really comes down to this formula I've written. And I just want to explain the pieces because this is a multiplier, all right? Typically, we're going to multiply by this. We're going to take like our original price or something, and we're going to multiply it by this formula. Now, the 1, this piece, is to maintain the original value. Right? If we multiply something by 1, we change nothing. Okay? So that's how we maintain that original amount. The plus is for increases. That's where the plus is. If something increased in value, we would have added to 1. The decrease, of course, then is the subtraction part of this. If we lost value, we would subtract from 1. And then this last part in here is the actual like ratio or proportion or decimal amount. And typically, we're given a percentage or something, and we put that over 100. So it's the decimal or proportion, however you want to think about it, of increase or decrease. So, for example, if you're told that something, maybe like a population or something grew, so increased by 9%, you'd take your original amount, however it was. Let's say you had a city that had 10,000 people and you were told it went up by 9%. You'd say, okay, I had 10,000 people and I went up by 9%. Well, we'd want to write that as a decimal. So we'd say our 9% divided by 100. Okay, because we went up 10,000, up 9%, 9 over 100. So we would multiply by 1.09. On the other hand, let's say we bought something and it depreciated. It lost 15% of its value. And let's say it originally cost $300. We'd say, okay, it was $300, and then we've got to do 1 minus, because it lost that value, and again, we have to do our 15 over 100. We've got to do that as a decimal. So we would be multiplying by 1 minus 0.15 or 0.85, okay? Now, we can also use this to figure out kind of what that increase or decrease value is. Let's say you had a small town that had a population of 500 people, but then it grew. Now it has 670. So what we're saying is, okay, well, I multiplied this. Again, it grew in value, so 1 plus what was equal to 670. Well, I would, first of all, using my algebra, I would divide both sides by 500, since it was a multiplied in, and 1 plus what, this comes out to be 1.34. Subtract 1 from both sides, and you'd say, oh, it's 0.34. But oftentimes you're asked for this as a percentage, so you'd have to multiply it by 100 to get back to be, oh, this town grew by 34%. Let's do the other way. So let's say it had 500 people, but then it shrunk. Now it's got 410. So we'd say, well, we'd have 1 minus what equals 410. So again, divide both sides by 500. So 1 minus what equals, this is 0.82. Now, using algebra, you could say, well, I got to subtract 1. That leaves me with a negative value over here equals negative 0.18. Well, we can multiply both sides by a negative 1 to change it. So we had a 0.18 in that blank, so that is an 18% decrease. So really, it comes down to this formula up here. Okay, it's worth knowing that, again, the 1 is so we can maintain that original amount, and that that blank, the plus blank is if we increased, and the minus blank is if we decreased, and that is how we can do those calculations. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more math help.